One of my favorite two exercises that I practice regularly is the Perfect Day exercise and my Perfect Life 1 year from now exercise. They're quite similar in a sense and could potentially be merged together. But starting with the Perfect Day exercise, it's specifically focused on how one particular day in your everyday life would look like for you. So imagine you're breaking down one of your weekdays, Monday to Friday, while the other exercise, My Perfect Life 1 year from now, is on a slightly broader time frame between maybe a week to a month, representation of how your life would ideally look 12 months from now into the future. And the point of these exercises is for you to get more clear on your direction and what you actually strive towards. This is not only about achievements, far from. You could, and I say probably you should, also definitely include a lot of reflection on how you would like to feel emotionally on a daily basis and in 12 months from now, in order to have a more fulfilling, happy and joyful life. So let me get into how this works, starting with the Perfect Day exercise. When you think about a perfect day, you might envision yourself lying on the beach, just chilling and sipping on cocktails on some remote paradise island. But that's not what we're looking for here. The Perfect Day exercise is more about your normal, ideal average day that might be closer to a sustainable reality for you. Like I said, a more normal weekday when you're not necessarily on vacation, but the type of day that will be the most common for you during a year. It's a day where you still are spending time on some type of career choice as well. And the exercises actually just pertains a lot of questions that will help you reflect. The more questions you can come up with and the more specific, the better. So here's some examples of questions you could ask yourself, starting with the general, broad, open question. What does your ideal average day look like? And more specific questions could be anything from what time do you wake up, that you're usually waking up in the morning? How does your morning look like? Do you wake up next to someone? Who do you spend your time with in the morning or the first half of the day, and for how long? Where do you go next? Are you in your house? Do you go outside of your house? Do you go to an office or do you go anywhere else? Would you exercise throughout the day? How many times do you exercise? When would you work out? And what type of workout would it be? Do you have variety? Do you have a specific, intensity training, strength training? Is it a sport? Whatever. What kind of food would you eat? When do you have breakfast? When do you have lunch? When do you have dinner? What type of food is that? What type of meals are there? How much time do you spend on work versus free time? What hobbies do you have? Are you in a relationship? Do you catch up with friends and family? How does that look like? What type of friends are there? What type of occasions are you catching up with your family? Is it, family dinners? Is it just regular voice messages or voice calls? Do you plan your days and have structure, or do you go more with your mood, being more spontaneous in the moment? What does your environments look like in general? Who do you spend time with? What type of conversations do you have? Do you read? Do you listen to any audiobooks or podcasts on the way to from A to B when you're moving in the car or whatever? What kinds of content and inspirational sources do you consume? How does your evening routine look like? What time do you go to bed? And the questions go on and on and on. Going to the next exercise. As you can imagine, it's very similar structure for the exercise of the Perfect Life 1 year from now. Questions such as, maybe a little bit more broader because it's a longer time frame, but questions such as, what does my morning routine look like? How does my days look like? What does my eating habits look like? What does my fitness level look like? How strong am I? How does my body look like? Am I fit? Am I strong? Am I shredded with abs or whatever? Am I being an active, healthy person? And what kind of activities do I do? Have I mastered a new skill, a new sport? Or maybe learned a new language? What am I doing for a living? What type of work do I do? How much money am I earning? And how often am I traveling or going for a vacation? How much time do I spend on work versus free time? Am I in a relationship? And how does that look like? What's the person like that I'm with? And are we, always understanding each other, communicating well? Where do I live in the world? In a house, apartment, what country? What hobbies do I have? What new things am I exploring and trying to learn? How does my social life look like? How many friends do I have and what kind of friends are they? How am I feeling on a daily basis? What kind of emotions am I experiencing? Is it joy? Is it happiness? Fulfillment? peace, gratitude, all those kind of emotions that you really value in your life. Are you experiencing those on a daily basis? That's a lot of questions, and like I said, the more you can come up with, the better, because then you will get even more clear on what you're looking for and what the perfect day and your perfect life 1 year from now would look like. I would say very few people are willing to create their life. Most of us are living in a more of a default state or default future that is being formed by every past step we take instead of creating our desired future. And I would encourage everyone to take a weekend and create your future by crafting out your ideal average day, your perfect day, how that would look like, and also on a bigger time frame, like, how would your life look like in, let's say, 12 months. Once you're done, please comment below and describe for all of us to take part of, or just shoot a quick comment on maybe a new realization that came up for you, on something that you would like to adjust or, take into consideration when moving forward and creating your perfect days or your perfect life 12 months from now. As always, guys, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a happy weekend.